Hello everyone, I'm Ascended Vessel. I finally made a PNG tuber model after many years. The only way I know how to test this out is doing this little personality test. And I got this inspiration to do this by a little crocodile that goes by the name of Jaden Anime, Kairu Crocodile. Today I'm just gonna go through this and, edit this, make some jokes I guess. You regularly make new friends. Complex and novel ideals excite you more than simple and straightforward ones. I'm kind of neutral because complex and novel stuff, like if it's complex, like sometimes it'll be better, but sometimes the simple and straightforward ones, they inspire more complex thought, if you know what I mean. You feel more persuaded by what resonates emotionally with you than by factual or Always. I'm more philosophical. I can take facts, but sometimes the fact isn't what necessarily resonates within your heart, you know? Sometimes you gotta go on vibes. Your living and working spaces are cleanly organized. Disagree highly. My workspace is full of plushies and standees and all that. You usually stay calm, even under a lot of pressure. I would say I kind of agree because sometimes whenever something stresses me out, my best course of coping with it is to just not get stressed and just try to stay as calm as possible. And sometimes even freezing up. You find the idea of networking or promoting yourself to strangers very daunting. Yep, this is why I'm making this video, because this is the only way I know how to do this and network at all. You prioritize and plan tasks effectively, often completing them well before the deadline. I don't prioritize and plan tasks, I just do them, so I'm neutral. People's stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers and data. Yes, always, because this is the reason that billionaires are so out of touch with humans. I was saying like billionaires are another species, but it's because they focus more on numbers than actual human stories and human emotions. You like to use organizing tools and schedules and lists. Nope, I just YOLO it. I did not plan this video at all. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. Yup, always, I'm ADHD and social anxious, so yes, always. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you're interested in striking a conversation. Nope, not at all. Never in my life have I ever done that. I will go up to someone and compliment them, but will I actually strike up a conversation? Nope, never. You are not too interested in discussions about various interpretations of creative works. I am always interested in discussions about interpretations of creative works. I make too much fan art to not be interested in interpretations of stuff. Next, you prioritize facts over people's feelings when determining a course of action. I disagree a little bit, because facts are good, but people's feelings is sometimes better, because you don't want to hurt people's feelings, you know. I'm more emotional, but sometimes you gotta look at the facts, so I'm just minor disagreement. You often allow the day to unfold without any schedule at all. Just gonna click. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on the people you meet. I always worry. I am socially anxious. You enjoy participating in team-based activities. Nope, I will always do things solo, even if it is a massive project. My classmates will know that firsthand. You enjoy experimenting with new and untested approaches. I kind of disagree, because I stick to what I know a lot. You prioritize being sensitive over being completely honest. I'm neutral because I consider myself a little brutally honest sometimes, but to be honest, being sensitive is also good because it's just, how are you supposed to connect with somebody if you're not sensitive about it whatsoever? You actively seek out new experiences and knowledge areas to explore. I mildly disagree. I do not like new stuff, especially recently. Back, if I was younger, I probably would have been more active about finding new things, but nowadays it's just like if I know how something works, I'm probably going to just do that than doing the other thing, which is new. You're prone to worrying about things that'll take a turn for the worst. Yep, every single time I take testing in school, it's always just, oh my gosh, I'm going to fail, and then I don't fail. My expectations are down rock bottom, but usually what happens is I do just fine. You enjoy solitary activities more than group ones. Always, like I said, I will rather do a massive project by myself than do a tiny project with other people. You cannot imagine yourself writing fictional stories for a living. Nope, see the character right here? Main character of a video game I'm making right now. You favor efficiency in decisions, even if it means disregarding some emotional aspects. I'm neutral on this. I don't know how to feel about that. Prefer to do chores before allowing yourself to relax. Nope, I will put things off for a very long time before doing them. I will relax and then do the chores. In disagreements, you prioritize proving your point over preserving the feelings of others. No, you can't do that. That's what self-centered people do. You have to prioritize trying to prove your point and also preserving the feelings of others. Always, you have to do both. Usually wait for others to introduce themselves first at social gatherings. Yep, I will be the last one on stage. Your mood can change very quickly. I kind of agree, because sometimes I'll like be mad at something and then I'll just go back to being normal, like Jax from the Amazing Beautiful Circus. You're not easily swayed by emotional arguments. I mildly disagree. If someone like makes a good point, preserving like philosophical and emotional ideas, I'm more inclined to agree with the more emotional one than the more factual one. You often end up doing things at the last moment possible. Yep, ADHD, procrastination, baby. You enjoy debating ethical dilemmas. I actually do. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun to think about whether things are good or bad. Although anything that has to do with politics, I'm immediately going to opt out, because if I try to make a good point on anything, if someone else will come in with a complete opposite opinion and just like fry me for no reason. You usually prefer to be around others rather than your own. No. I like to be by myself a lot. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. Yep, I enjoy putting things into practice rather than just theory. When facts and feelings conflict, you usually find yourself following your heart. Always, yes, follow your heart. Always. You find it challenging to maintain a consistent work or study schedule. I'm neutral. I'll be able to do things like within the first day if I'm assigned something, and I'll just get it done usually. Unless I'm like feeling really bad, then I'll maybe move it later. I won't make a work schedule or anything, but I will do it very quickly that a schedule isn't needed. You rarely second guess the choices that you made. I always second guess the choices I made. The thing about being socially anxious is that you're going to second guess everything you do. You're going to overanalyze every conversation you ever had. Your friends would describe you as lively and outgoing. I mildly agree. I present myself as lively and extroverted and all that, but on the inside I'm introverted and socially anxious, and I just like to be myself sometimes to recharge. You are drawn to various forms of creative expression, such as writing. Literally the whole reason I'm making my video game Verge.
You usually base your choices on objective facts rather than emotional impressions. I mildly disagree, because facts are good, but like I said, I am more inclined to agree with emotion and philosophy rather than facts.
You like to have a to-do list for each day. Nope, never had a to-do list in my life. You rarely feel insecure. I disagree, I am socially anxious. You avoid making phone calls. I mildly agree, because I am introverted. You enjoy exploring unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints. I mildly agree, because I like being comfortable in my viewpoints, but sometimes it is good to look outwards and look at other people's viewpoints rather than your own. You can easily connect with people you have just met. Yeah, actually, although I'm introverted, I'm pretty good at connecting with other people. I won't strike up a conversation with people I've just met, but I can definitely connect to them pretty well. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. I lightly disagree, because if something is interrupted, I'm probably going to sit back for a bit and just contemplate whether I should continue. You're still bothered by mistakes you made a long time ago.
Moving on.
You are not too interested in discussing theories on what the world could look like in the future.
Yeah, a little bit.
Your emotions control you more than you control them. I'm neutral. Sometimes I can control them, sometimes I can't. Sometimes it's just a nice middle ground. When making decisions, you focus on more... Dang!
When making decisions, you focus more on how the affected people might feel than what is most logical or efficient. Once again, the facts and emotions argument. Once again, I like to go off of facts and emotion, but once again, I'm more likely to be... I'm going to be more inclined to listen to the emotional one and the emotions than what is more factual or logical.
Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. Highly agree. That's the whole reason why I made this VTuber. That's the reason why I do fan art. That's the reason why I do everything. Except for Verge. Verge is like this thing that's been running in my brain for like years. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it'll take for them to feel disappointed in you. Yep. Social anxiety. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of... No! I love abstract philosophical questions. Those are my favorite things to think about. I love thinking about the complex inner workings of the human emotion. You feel more drawn to busy, bustling atmospheres than quiet, intimate places. I'm neutral on this, but I have a great, amazing reason for being neutral here. Busy, bustling atmospheres are good, but they're just as good as the quiet, intimate places. I say that because Like, I would love to look at the trees and the beautiful colors of fall in the woods and fields and all of that, and just look at the waterfalls going down, and just looking at all the wildlife and flowers and plants. But it's just as good to me as going down. But that nature feel is just as good to me as it is stores and stuff, and looking at parking lots and all that. I do not know why this is for me. A lot of people hate concrete, looking at concrete and stuff, but as long as I see moss and like weeds growing out of the concrete, there's just something about it that just feels so good to me to look at, and I don't quite know how to explain it yet. Hopefully I'll be able to iterate on it someday. If a decision feels right to you, you often act on it without needing further proof. I lightly disagree, because if it feels right, I'm probably going to act on it, but I still need proof. Like, I'm not just gonna like go off of things just because it feels right. I'm also going, like I said, I'm gonna go back on the facts and the emotions at the same time. You often feel overwhelmed. Yes. You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. I mildly disagree, because once again, I'm more spontaneous, and I like to just do things without thinking about it. You prefer tasks that require you to come up with creative solutions rather than follow concrete steps. I'm neutral. Usually, whenever I have to do something, if I'm enjoying doing it, I'm going to be more creative. But if I don't like doing it, I'm going to prefer to take those steps. Like whenever I do math, I always look for rules on how to remember things and all that. You struggle with deadlines. No, I don't. If there's a deadline, I'm always going to get it done. You feel confident that things will work out for you. I am confident. Always believe in yourselves. I am a meditator. What is that? INFPT. What is that? And that's the end. Hopefully, that was pretty nice. I like doing that. Nice to yap a little bit in front of the internet, in front of I don't know how many people. Let's find out. This little PNG tuber that I made is my character Zane from Verge. Verge is a video game, an RPG style video game that I'm working on. Hopefully I'll be able to get it done within the next 10 years. As soon as possible, I'm gonna try to open commissions. Hopefully I can get some money so I can buy RPG Maker and actually be able to start experimenting with the engine, so I can actually start trying to learn how it works, so I can actually start making my video game finally. Anyway, that was it. Just wanted to show off my PNG tuber and reference how Kairu Crocodile is definitely Jade in animations. You can't hide from me. You can't hide from me, Jade.